That's a key word there. The word is holistic, because oftentimes, because we're triggered by the events that take place, we turn to law enforcement for answers. We turn to parents for answers. We turn to education for answers. But if we don't provide the wraparound services, centering those who are most vulnerable in the middle, while giving them the resources that they need, we're going to continue to have this plague in our communities. And this plague doesn't come from people who have a deficit. It comes from a history of government neglect and a lack of resources that the government has brought into Black and brown communities. Our communities were redlined on purpose, by design, and undervalued simply because they were Black and brown. Crack cocaine was brought into our communities. When the guns come from out of state into Mount Vernon, Yonkers, and the Bronx, they skip Scarsdale and Bronxville and Rye and come straight here. Why? Because we are the people who deal with the most historical, complex trauma, and we are the most vulnerable, so we are more likely to pick up a gun. But there's another answer, and there are other pathways that we can create for our people. There is not one individual mayor or legislature or educator or council person or congressperson or governor that can solve this crisis alone. It has to be all of us working in deep, committed collaboration on a consistent basis to make sure we save the lives of every single person in our communities. If there are no gun deaths in Bronxville and Scarsdale and Rye, then there shouldn't be any gun deaths in Mount Vernon, Yonkers, and the Northeast Bronx. And we are often told the narrative that there must be something inherently wrong with the people there. That is 100% false. The people of Mount Vernon, the people of Yonkers, the people of the Northeast Bronx, the people of neglected areas of New Rochelle are brilliant artists, scientists, mathematicians, entrepreneurs, design thinkers, architects, engineers, whatever it is that they want to be. And it is on us as elected officials and community leaders to create the pathways and the pipelines and the infrastructure so that they can access their full potential. As you all know, the House passed the Build Back Better Act this past Friday. It hasn't passed the Senate yet. So we're going to need everybody's voice in here to put pressure on the Senate to make sure it passes the Senate. Because not only does that bill invest $2.5 billion in violence reduction specifically from a health and human services perspective, it also makes the largest investment in public housing in U.S. history. It also makes the largest investment in green infrastructure in U.S. history. It also provides us finally the opportunity to negotiate drug prices. So when we talk holistic, it's investing in all of these areas that will dramatically reduce incidents of gun violence. And let me also say this, it is not just gun violence. It is the presence of violence and the normalizing of violence in every aspect of our community.